Hola chicos, bienvenidos. My name is Ricardo and this is Ricardo's Forgotten Books. I know I have been MIA for a few months now, but life has happened and I've been a witness of it. Okay, I have been busy and I have been doing a lot of different things. And I have been through a huge reading slump. I'm pretty sure since September or yeah, I think since September, I have not read a single book. And we are currently in April of 2026. So, a lot of months. But the other day I came across a video from my dear Nicole from Noteworthy Fiction where she decided which book she wanted to read based on giving a set of books 15 minutes each. So she would read 4 books and 15 minutes per book to decide which book she wanted to continue reading. And I thought that would be a great idea to finally decide which book I want to spend time with and hopefully jump out of this reading slump that I'm in. I will link the link to Nicole's video down below. Please go check it out. There are 2 things that I have done differently is that instead of 15 minutes, I'm going to give myself 20 minutes with each book. And the only thing that I have added for my personal interest is that I have decided to do this classics only. The first one is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Then we have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. I think it's how you pronounce that last name. Then we have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And lastly, The Odyssey by Homer. I'm recording this after I have done this little challenge. But yeah, years ago I started reading The Picture of Dorian Gray, but I think that it wasn't the right time for me to read the book. I don't remember anything about the book. I don't remember what I read. I just remember that I felt incredibly bored by it. And people were hyping up. This book has been riding the wave of hype for classics for a long time now. When you talk about classics, when somebody recommends classics, The Picture of Dorian Gray is almost always on the picture, for a lack of a better word. And feeling bored by it, I was like, classics don't tend to bore me. They can be not for me. They can be books that I don't particularly like for whatever reason, but a classic has never been boring to me. So I am pretty sure that it was a product of its time, meaning when I read it, I was in the right mind space to pick up that book. Then we have Frankenstein. Honestly, a story that it just doesn't call my attention, basically because I'm not one of, I don't know, when we think about classics, for example, Dracula, I am a huge fan of vampires. But when we think of Frankenstein, the different versions that have existed of Frankenstein throughout history, they've never called my attention. I've never related to it. Now, I know it's a book and a story and a concept that has been so heavily modified that the versions that we see almost every year usually don't have any correlation to the original story published by Mary Shelley. So I'm excited for that. And also, I have heard that it's a beautiful book, and I am currently writing two stories, and I want to find beautiful prose and character depth, and I think I can find that with Frankenstein. So we will see after I read the book what I think about it, or those first 20 minutes. But so far, the first two books are not calling me. Then we have Jane Eyre, another book that doesn't call me. But again, I'm willing to give it a fair chance. And out of these four, the only book that actually appeals to me is the Odyssey by Homer. Because I love mythology, I love Greek culture, I love Greece. So this book actually calls to me. I have read um, things from this time, like not this time, but like ancient Greece. So this is, if I had to pick one right now, this would be the one that I would say, oh, I'm going to read that one. But on top of that, we have the issue that it can be a bit dense, and I don't know if it's going to be the correct book to read after a huge reading slump. On top of that, we have the situation of Frankenstein, the picture of Dorian Gray, and the Odyssey being so referenced throughout history in books, shows, movies, that I just know how all three of them end, what happens in the book, the main conflict. I know basically everything. Granted, there are going to be details that I don't know, and there are going to be many things that I don't know. But the main things that make you read a book, learning the conflict, knowing how it ends, the characters, all of that, I know. So, yeah, we will have to see. With that being said, if you want to if you want to know which book I'm going to decide to read, please keep watching the video. Hello guys, sorry if this is too bright. I'm literally by the window. Look at the beach. I cannot wait for summer to arrive, honestly. Sorry, I'm shaking. I have decided to start with Frankenstein. I assume that you guys have seen the intro. I am recording the intro after I'm done with these books. And also excuse my pajamas. I'm in my house. So yeah, I'm starting with Frankenstein. I don't think I'm going to upload me reading the book because honestly my room is a mess and I don't want you guys to see that. So I will leave other videos that I have on my phone. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but trust the process and we'll work through this together. So yeah, I will read Frankenstein for 20 minutes and I will be back with an update. So yeah, thank you. Look how beautiful the edition is. This is not has nothing to do with my enjoyment toward the book, but I just think it's so beautiful. I love it. Hi guys, the 20 minutes are up and I loved the beginning. I really loved it. I personally love books that are written in like chapters in a diary, and that seems, or letters, and that seems to be the beginning of the book. I have a feeling that it's not going to last that long. That the next part of the book going forward is going to be just a regular novel, and we are going to leave the letters behind. but those first 20 minutes were perfect. They cultivated my interest, if we can say that. They got me hooked, and I'm loving the writing style. I'm loving the atmosphere and the character that is now narrating or writing these letters. I really like. So yeah, I'm really excited about this book. I don't know if any of the other three are going to be more interesting, but so far, well, this is the first one, but so far I think this is going to be hard to beat. So yeah, let's go for the next one. I think the next one I want to do is Jane Eyre. Again, I apologize for the lighting, guys, but natural light is always great. So I'm not going to close the blinds. Yeah, the next one is going to be Jane Eyre. Again, like I said in the intro, if I said this book is not one that I am excited about. I am just hoping and waiting to see if it will prove me wrong. I mean, it is a classic for a reason, so that gives me some peace of mind, and it puts me at ease that at least I'm going to enjoy the writing style. But yeah, I will have to see. I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy the book, but I'm willing to give it a fair chance and not judge it before reading those first 20 minutes. So I will be back with an update, guys.
I could be the one. You could be the one. Who's the one? Heaven only knows. Save me forever. We could be our secret.
Okay, guys, so I just read Jane Eyre for those 20 minutes that I was talking about, and surprisingly, I loved the time with the book. I didn't read much. I read the first two chapters, and the first two? Yeah, the first two chapters, so 23 pages. And honestly, I was enjoying the story. I was enjoying the writing style. I was enjoying the pacing. I was enjoying everything. The story is on the heavier side, but yeah, I was liking it. The only thing is that it's quite thick. I mean, it's not a super long book, but it has, at least this edition is close to 600 pages, and I don't know if I'm in the mood for this long of a read, especially when the reread that I am currently doing is a series and over 500 pages every book, each book. So I don't know if I'm in the mood for another longer read, but yeah, I think I have liked it as equal as Frankenstein. The only thing is that on Frankenstein, in those 20 minutes, there was more intrigue. The author already gave me, Mary Shelley already gave me something that I wanted to find out more about. Here, so far, is just the life or the early life of Jane Eyre, but I don't have anything to look forward to except, well, maybe I do, but it's not necessarily a mystery. But very, very, very pleased with those 20 minutes that I spent reading this. The next 20 minutes I will spend with the picture of Dorian Gray. I am giving this book a second chance, like I said in the intro for this video. And yeah, I have faith. I think this book was a fail to me because the time when I picked it up, the moment wasn't great for this book and I was just not into it. But I have high hopes now. So yeah, I will give you an update in 20 minutes.
더 가까이 와도 좋아 작은 소녀야 돌고 돌다 부딪히고 살아 I could be the one You could be the one who's the one Heaven only knows Save me forever We could be a secret
Hi guys, I come here with an update on the picture of Dorian Gray and I loved it. Once again, I really enjoyed what I read. And the funny thing is that I stopped exactly where I left it a few years ago. I have read in these 20 minutes the introduction and the first chapter. And I know in the past I was just not paying attention to the story for whatever reason, because I'm usually a reader that even if years go by, I still remember, I would say 85% of what I've read, and this was like new to me. I didn't remember a single thing. So I know it's because back then at what I wasn't in at the exact same or at the exact or correct moment or mindset to dive into this book. But now I'm happy to say that I was actually very intrigued. I want to know more and learn more about Dorian Gray, about the rest of the characters, about how the plot is going to develop. And the interesting thing with this selection of books, except Jane Eyre, is that I know how all three of them end and how they progress more or less. I don't know every single detail, but I think I have a pretty clear image of how they do or how they are going to do. So yeah, I am very pleased to say that I actually loved what I read. So this is going to be a hard thing to do. I don't know which book I'm going to pick. We only have the Odyssey left, and I think, I mean, I'm a huge fan of mythology, of Greece, so I think I am going to enjoy that one too. So I don't know which one I'm going to pick. This one is somewhat similar to Jane Eyre in the sense that compared to Frankenstein, I think Frankenstein gave me more of a thing to be intrigued about. Whereas this, so far, I just have to wait and let the story progress. And I know it's going to get super good. But so far, I'm like, okay, he's still, giving me what I need to know before I can be actually fully intrigued. So I would say, I think Frankenstein so far is on a faster pace, while Dorian Gray and Jane Eyre are slightly more calm. Although I know this book is the opposite from that. So yeah, now we're going to go to the final book. I will be reading 20 minutes of the Odyssey by Homer. One thing about this book that is the same thing about Frankenstein, the same thing about the picture of Dorian Gray, is that I know how it ends. And it's not just that how it ends, I know almost everything about this book. I studied arts history, so this book was heavily referenced, and I didn't have to, I had to read it for college, but I didn't. But yeah, so so I have never read the book, but I know a lot of different things that happen in the book. So to me, that's both, it's like a double-edged sword, because I think, okay, I'm familiar with the story, it can be less intimidating that way, but at the same time, I think, is it going to keep my interest if I know what's going to happen next? Granted, I don't know every single detail, I don't know every single thing that happens in the book, in the story, so it's somewhat of an unfair thought to have. But anyways, I'm not going to give it too much thought. I'm not going to, worry, and I'm going to read it, because I had very, very, very low hopes for, honestly, all of the books on this video, and they have all surprised me amazingly. So let's go with The Odyssey by Homer. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
I could be the one. You could be the one. Who's the one? Heaven only knows. Save me forever. We could be a secret. 더 가까이 와도 좋아. 작은 소녀야. 돌고 돌다 부딪히고 살아. I could be the one. You could be the one. Who's the one? Heaven only knows. Save me forever. We could be a secret. 아무렇지 않은 척 지겨워. 여기저기 끌려다녀. Got you afraid. 하늘 아래서 두 손 모아. And I can find my cutie wings.
Hello guys, I'm back, and I have to say, I have not done the 20 minutes with the Odyssey. I have read about 50 minutes, and I've decided I am not in the mood to read this. I was actually enjoying the first few pages, but I feel like I want something more modern, and also something that is not going to take me that long to read. The edition that I have is in a more, we could say, sophisticated Spanish, but really it's like more old Spanish than the one we use today. So it's not as easy to read. I mean, I still understand the words, of course, it's Spanish, but yeah, it takes me maybe a couple of seconds to fully register what they're trying to say. On top of that, is one of these editions that is made for studying, meaning you have, for example, here, the words with little numbers, and then you have the information below. That is something that I really like, and I love spending time reading that information. But right now, as I've said, coming out of a big reading slump, I'm just not in the mood for that. So I think unless I have a change of heart during the rest of the day and tomorrow, we are going to not choose the Odyssey. It pains me because I know I'm going to love it, and I was actually enjoying the first few pages, but you know, if it's not now, it will be in the future, so I won't worry too much. So yeah, now I have to make a decision between Frankenstein, Jane Eyre, and the picture of Dorian Gray. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet, and I have decided, you know, today I have to write, I have to do other stuff, so we will make the decision tomorrow, which for you will be the next in a couple of seconds. So see you guys in 2 minutes for you.
I could be the one. You could be the one. Who's the one? Heaven only knows. Save me forever. We could be a secret. 더 가까이 와도 좋아. 작은 소녀야. 돌고 돌다 부딪히고.
Hi guys, new day, new us. I redecorated my shelf. I am not sure about it because this flower is a gift from my mom. I think I need to buy a smaller vase. I never know what to do with this. Like, I want it to be like full of plants and have a couple of books here. This, I cannot wait to read these books actually. But yeah, I still have to figure it out. But I did a lot of the redecoration, and I made up my mind about the book that I want to read. So to do a little bit of a recap, I have read 20 minutes of Jane Austen, Frankenstein, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and The Odyssey. Yesterday, I decided The Odyssey was not going to be the book for me right now, and I'm sticking by that. So, with that being said, our three finalists are The Picture of Dorian Gray, Jane Austen, and Frankenstein. Let me say why I'm not going to pick Jane Eyre. I loved what I read of Jane Eyre, but having read just 20 minutes of this book, I'm pretty sure it's going to be about the life of Jane Eyre. I mean, it's the title of the book. I can not be any dumber. My English is not working. Don't judge me because I have not spoken English in about 4 months. Anyways, I think it's just going to be about the life of Jane Eyre, and while I think that can be interesting and it definitely interested me during the first 20 minutes of the book, I think A book this big, just about the life of a person, with nothing of, you know, without a mystery or a heavier plot, I think could be boring for me right now. Meaning the same thing as the Odyssey. I just came out of a huge reading slump and I want something that is going to keep me on my toes. And I think this is the book to just reflect about life with, you know? And I'm not necessarily looking for that. However, it has totally changed my mind. I didn't know why I bought this book because I was set on I'm not going to like it. However, those first 20 minutes really proved to me, just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Just give it a chance. And yeah, I am ready to give this a chance any other day, just not right now, because I'm looking for that, a story that is going to keep me on the edge of my seat. That leaves us with Frankenstein and the picture of Dorian Gray, and I have decided that I am going to read Frankenstein. Yeah, I am going to read Frankenstein. I'm not reading the picture of Dorian Gray right now because from the 20 minutes that I read, I just found this more interesting. Not interesting, it made me, the way it was written and the way they were dosifying the information, and the way Mary Shelley was giving you something to think about but really not telling you anything at all, made me engage with the story more and made me actually more intrigued than the picture of Dorian Gray. However, I'm very happy because now I know that when I read this, or I tried to read this years ago, it just happened that I was in the right headspace to read this book. But probably after Frankenstein, I am going to pick this one up because I really liked my 20 minutes with this book too. So I think overall this has been a success of a video. I managed to learn that I do want to read A Picture of Dorian Gray, that I do want to read Jane Eyre, that I do want to read the Odyssey, and I have found my next read in Frankenstein. So I cannot ask for more out of this video. I'm very happy. And yeah, I just cannot wait to get into this like fully, you know, to experience this. I don't know, the first 20 minutes, it just captivated me. So yeah, we will be reading Frankenstein during April. And with that, guys, we reached the end of the video. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books, what you think of them. If you recommend any other, like, would you like to see me try this video with maybe fantasy or Spanish classics or thriller or love stories? I'm not a romance reader, but I could try it because I thought I was not going to be a Jane Eyre or a Frankenstein reader, and look at me now. Thank you for watching. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded a video, and to be honest, who knows when I will be uploading the next one. I hope I become more consistent with this, but right now I'm doing a lot of things. I'm studying, I'm writing my own books. I'm trying to get back to reading books because if you don't read books, you cannot write books. Life, I'm going to have surgery soon. Life is hectic. Life is beautiful and full of surprises and sad sometimes. So you never know what life is going to bring to you. So hopefully you will see me soon. If you don't see me soon, I'm glad you got to see me today.